Hey, this is Craig Ford, Meet the Staff. I hadn't been doing these lately, but I had to do this one because it was our new fire chief, Vance Brown. So Vance, welcome, brother.
Thank you, Mayor.
And Vance and I go back a ways back. Just go ahead and let you know, so there might be some laughs through this, but Vance coached my daughter in softball at Gadsden City High School, and I need to start calling you Chief. So, but Chief coached Wells, and your daughter Michaela played, and they're friends, and we're friends, and Tabitha, your wife, and so it's like I've known him for a long time, and known his dad too, who's a fine man. Let's just start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Not that I've already told some, but go ahead.
So married, 2 daughters, wife Tabitha, been married for 26 years, been together 31 years.
Where's she work?
She stays at home now. She worked at Mommy and Me down on Broad Street for years. She actually has an antique booth at Emma Kate's Cottage in Atala now. She does that. The girls, Michaela, she teaches at Floyd Elementary. She is a product of Gadsden City Schools. Started out at Mitchell Elementary right here behind us. Went to Sansom Middle. On to graduated Gadsden City High School. Danced 2 years at Sneed, then went to Jacksonville State. So she is a product of Gadsden City school system.
And came back home.
So she had other offers to go other places, but she's Gadsden.
Yeah.
And she loves Gadsden, and that's where she wanted to be. Mackenzie the same. Mackenzie's the youngest daughter, 23. Mitchell, Sansom, Gadsden City. Went to Gadsden State. So that's where her education came from. She's now the administrative assistant to Mayor Snyder in Southside, and but she still lives up here on the mountain. Still lives at home, and so that's my family.
You know, Gwen and I wanted to push our kids out the door, and then when they got out the door, we wanted them to come back.
That's exactly right, and that's us. Michaela just got married this last weekend,
yeah.
And it's bittersweet. Get her off the payroll, that helps.
So I got to ask, do you like the boy?
I do. I love Connor. He is. They dated for 7 years. He's an engineer at Honda. He just graduated from UAH in May. Got a job there. So
that's good.
Both have good jobs. We love him. He's family.
Tell me, how long you been with the fire department?
So been in the fire department 23 years.
Okay.
I cut my teeth on Gadsden Fire. I'm not a guy that went to rookie school somewhere else and then came to work here. Everywhere else used to be the stepping stone to get to here. Everybody wanted to be at Gadsden Fire. 23 years ago, this is where I started. Through the ranks from firefighter, driver to commander, or what we call lieutenant now. Never aspired to be chief. I've always been a door kicker, what we call a door kicker, a hall crawler, a nozzleman, a guy that's going to go through the door, go in, put out fire. A wreck, I'm a guy that wants to crawl in a vehicle, confined space, dive off the falls out here with a rope around me. All that's the things I wanted to do. Never thought about being chief. When Will gravitated to his new job, spot opened up, still never thought about it. All of a sudden, guys started saying, hey man, why don't you throw your name in the hat? Because they all knew the private sector, my business background, but at the same time, being a leader on the truck with the guys, they were drawn to that. And so Tabitha and I prayed about it, and I essentially just said, Lord, if this is what you have for my life, then if you open the door, I'll walk through it. If you close the door, I'll stay on the truck. I'll finish my time on Engine 5 right here and go on my way, once I get ready to retire.
And you live in Gadsden. You live about a mile
Yeah, I live 2 blocks from here. We moved here in 2010, and the girls, Michaela was in kindergarten. And so when a lot of folks, the combination of the school was 2006, a lot of folks were moving out during that time. And you and I were an exception to the rule. We brought our kids in.
That's right.
And so that's, my dad been an administrator in education all those years. I just asked him, I said, Dad, where do I need to take the girls? We were on the fence between Westbrook and Gadsden City. And Dad said Charlotte Berry was up here at Mitchell at the time. And he said, Charlotte runs a great program. Dr. Miller at the time was there. He and Dad had a relationship. He said, go to Gadsden City. So moved up here in 2010, and everything we do, we could drive a golf cart from the house, members of Scenic Pool, Bellevue Baptist. I was stationed here at Station 5. Girls are going to Mitchell. Everything we did was within a golf cart ride right here at the falls.
Man, the mountain's beautiful.
It's unbelievable.
You mentioned, firefighter, lieutenant, battalion chief, all that. Tell everybody the steps when you come in the fire department, what you start out at. So I'm military, the rank.
Correct. So when we come in as a probationary firefighter, which is our first 6 months, we're on probation. That way if things just don't work out, because this is not for everybody.
Right.
Obviously a lot of folks, when we go through the interview, you know, you're asked the questions. You're going to spend holidays away from your family. You're going to miss birthdays. You're going to miss a Christmas. You're going to miss a Thanksgiving, all those things. How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to be away from your family? There is a chance you can get killed in what we do. That is the harsh reality of, you know, you ride down 4th Street at the office and there's 3 stones out there for guys that got killed in Glencoe that time. So that is a harsh reality. So first 6 months, guys get in here, they get on that truck up and down all night, and they see, okay, maybe this is not for me. So the probationary period is a time to weed out, if you will, or not. So once we get past that, then you're just a firefighter.
Yeah.
Typically, in the rank structure of promotion, it takes, on average, about 5 to 7 years to promote to driver. So to go firefighter, driver, commander, lieutenant. So 5 to 7 years to go through the firefighter stage. And at that same time, you will act in the position of driver, so you're learning that position as well. Then when you promote to driver, it's essentially the same. It's about a 5 to 7 year process to promote to commander. I promoted at 13 and a half years to commander, and I've been here 23 years, so I was at the commander level for almost 11 and a half years, then promote. So it's probationary firefighter, firefighter, driver, lieutenant, and then we go to battalion chief. So there's 3 battalion chiefs, a battalion chief for A, B, and C shifts.
So you said lieutenant commander, they're the same thing?
Yeah, so my entire career, that rank was classified as commander.
Yeah.
Whenever Brett came in, I don't know what the reasoning was there, but Brett decided to go to lieutenant, and so that's where we're at now, which is commander and lieutenant is parallel. That's the same rank.
And I want everybody to understand the rank structure of that. And so we had 3 battalion chiefs, and they're right under you. And so what are some of the struggles you've seen since you become chief from where you were?
So one, when I came in, or right on the cusp of me coming in, we were fully staffed.
Which is how many?
105 will be the full complement of our staff.
Yeah.
Right after that, we have a couple of guys retiring now. We've had guys to leave, go in the private sector. We had a couple to go to other departments in their hometown. 3 guys went to Jacksonville. When they got hired, Jacksonville wasn't hiring, and they made it known, whenever Jacksonville hires, we want to go to our hometown.
Yeah.
Same as a guy in Atala.
Yeah.
And each one of those guys, I will say, took a pay cut just so they could go home and be in their hometown.
Yeah.
So the struggle has been, now we're at 10 guys down, between guys leaving, attrition of guys retiring. Right now we have 4 guys out with surgery, and so that's been a struggle. You know, I told you the other day, using some different hitting lineups. You know, when you try to get to a championship team, you have to change the lineup to get to where you need to be when it's time for the championship game.
Yeah.
So essentially that's what we're having to do right now, is the struggle is 3 different shifts having to get, because those guys have set up the shift the same way their entire career and their career before them. So the last 40 years it's been set up a certain way, and now we're having to gravitate away from that, make adjustments. And it's tough trying to get 3 different guys who have 3 different mindsets on the same page. But now they're doing great. All 3 guys are starting to grasp it. They're starting to get an understanding of what I'm asking for. And it's been good, but at the same time, it's been a struggle.
You know, that's been a struggle, is this, you know, we hit the peak, and when Chief Reed was here, I remember saying, hey, I know we hit our max, let's keep hiring. Even though we don't have the slots, let's go over. Because you got an older force, but you also got a younger force. But that's just what we came into. One thing I want to say is that you helped me when I came into office 2 years ago. We settled 2 lawsuits.
Correct.
They'd been pending, one for 20 years, which is kind of unheard of. I don't understand that. But I said, we're going to settle this lawsuit. Because I wanted the fire department to know that, hey, this administration, not that the previous one didn't, they did, but that we cared about our first responders, and we want to get this out of the way. I don't want that black eye hanging over our administration. Since then, we've given pay raises. I know not what we should, or not what everyone wants, because you always need more and they deserve more. But we're getting there.
Absolutely.
one thing, we're sitting in this department. This is a funny story, but you said go by and look at, after I was first elected the first week, and you said go by and look at my bed. And I said, I don't know what that means, but okay. So I came to this, not this fire department, the one that used to be here, and I got in your bed and there was a bucket.
That's right.
And your bed was crooked. And I remember calling you going, you know, Vance, why is your bed crooked? Why is there a bucket? Man, the ceiling's leaking. And I said, hey, it's the last thing I do, we're going to build a fire department. But I remember doing that, and then I remember thinking, hey, we're going to figure this out.
Right.
And you helped me design this one. And, you know, I wanted red doors. I wanted red garage doors. That's just what I grew up as a kid, and I think that's a good recruiting tool, too. We wanted what you took the pattern of the Flatwood, South Gadsden, changed it around more to accommodate, and then I love the fact we did the log cabin facade on the outside.
That's great.
You know, it kind of goes hand in hand with that up here. So, man, I'm telling you, this building's phenomenal, and I know that's a whole nother discussion. But you know, I hope the men enjoy it and the women.
They do.
You know, and we got some more changes coming in the fire department. All good.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody likes change, but. My goal is to build a new fire station down in, is it 6, Clubview?
8.
8.
Clubview is 8.
Yeah, Clubview's 8.
Scratch the numbers, we call it Clubview.
Clubview, okay. So build a new station down there. That one's in bad shape too.
It is.
And then hopefully one day we can merge downtown in North Gadsden into a big grand fire station.
Right.
On the water, some land that we bought next to McCartney Construction. I just think we deserve it, and it looks good. And the city deserves it too. The citizens deserve it. So
I agree. You mentioned the lawsuit. We settled those, and obviously you know that was from the Guyton administration. Yeah. Brandon and I sit down and get to have conversations in finance now that has been very advantageous for me and this department, because Will couldn't do that. Chief Carroll couldn't do that. You couldn't sit down and have that conversation. Brandon and I get to, and so that helps move us forward. And you said, hey, look, I know y'all have this lawsuit in place. We're going to do what we can to get that taken care of as fast. Now, we all know that the wheels of municipal government and the legal system, it's a crawl. Now that that's behind us, I will say I've had the largest pay increase in my 23 years under your administration. You've added holidays, the pay structure that we asked for. We'd never had a pay scale, something we'd asked for at the time for me for 21 years. Finally got one. And just like you said, you have ebb and flows, things have to adjust. We put one in place, and I know that y'all look at that thing every day of how can we make this thing better. Yeah. I will say you've done a great job with getting us where we need to be, and I know we're moving that forward. I think just continue to do what you're doing. Okay. The dialogue of us being able to talk, which is something we've never had in the past. That open door policy where, I mean, you shoot me a text and you say, hey, come by, just stick my head in and say hello. It means a lot to be able to do that. So
what I've tried to change the demeanor, and that was their philosophy. My philosophy is, hey, we may not agree, but there's only so many jelly beans in the jar. That's right. And I tell everybody this: it's our first responders are, there's the reason they're called first is for a reason. They're very important: police, fire, EMA. But then you got public works over here who's cutting down trees and picking up trees in the middle of the night. They're just as important too. So
absolutely,
that's been my biggest thing, is because I want to juggle everything and I want to get people paying. There's people maybe making poverty level when we came on, and there may be still some. I don't know if they are. It's my fault, but we're going to get it up. Right. And my job is to generate more revenue, more industry.
Absolutely.
And, the biggest problem we've had is recruiting industry. We get everybody. We've had probably 15 companies on the cusp. And then they back out, do the economy or something on a federal level or something. But hopefully, we got people beating down our door now, so hopefully that'll change. And that brings in more revenue, more people. One thing I want the people to know is City of Gadsden goes up in population 3 to 4 times from 8 to 5.
Right.
So if you want some action as a firefighter, come to Gadsden Fire Department. Because y'all are gone. I looked outside and I said, Chief, where's the trucks? They're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone all the time. And we back up each other. Each station backs up when one's gone, and you got a good system going. But, I don't understand it. But I do know this. I've tried to limit our overtime. That's been an issue I want the public to understand this. Right. I've told Chief Brown, hey, there's only a certain amount of money in the pot for overtime. We got to live within a budget. We got to live within our means. Well, when you took over, we had gone through 2 iterations of chiefs, so you had to put your policies in place. So for the next 5 months, you got to live with what's given to you.
That's right.
And then we have been sitting down, had some hard conversations about overtime. You're fighting for your men like you should, and I'm fighting for your men, plus trying to keep a budget in place. So at times, it means we may have to shut down a particular station, and you may have to overstaff a certain station in a truck. And that's just what happens. And, you know, we can't help that. There's only so many jelly beans in the jar, and there's only so much overtime we can allot for a year. Now, our firemen are, you know, like some other firemen, they're 24-hour shifts. So there's some built-in overtime. I learned this, built-in overtime already in the budget of like $200,000. Is that right?
That's about right.
Yeah. And so we have to account for it, and I think that's where you're penalized. But we're going to try to accommodate that next budget and try to figure that out, because, you know, things happen. And you know, soldiers, firefighters, you know, they can't come in for certain reasons, and we understand that. We got to backfill it. So.
And I would say a couple of things you just touched on. One, the poverty level of some folks, what they're making. We had guys that were absolutely at the poverty level.
Yeah.
That firefighter was making roughly $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
When you came in, the firefighter pay, if you look at it now, it's about a $10,000 increase.
Yeah.
So we are on a more of a level playing field. And then when you put in some of our medic pay, clothing allowance, other things that other cities do not get, time that we get that other cities don't get, time off, the holidays, the vacation time, personal days, those things. Our entire package is the best going around. And we had guys that looked at Rainbow City, and when they went and looked, they said, hey, we can't go over there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pay cut.
Yeah.
Then the action side of it, there's no doubt. If you take every fire department in this county and you add their run volume together, they don't touch where we're at.
Yeah.
You do get we all become a firefighter to fight fire. That's what everybody wants to do. So you do get to kick doors, fight fire here. You get the high angle rescues.
Man, you get rappelling down in the gorge.
The rappelling. I've rappelled off this gorge out here and went down, started an IV, pushed pain meds, all those things you get to do them. Yeah. The MVAs, the confined space. You get at Gadsden Fire, you're going to get, if you want to be a firefighter, that's what you're going to get to do the deal.
Police. I say, if you want to go sleep, go somewhere else. If you want to do what you're called to do,
that's
come
right.
here. So.
If you want to police, if you want to kick doors and do those things, then Gadsden's the place to be. You touched on the overtime. When this budget was set, and I've just learned this through talking with Brandon, through talking with Chief Jaggers, when those budgets are set, I know we're coming up on June, fastly approaching, and we'll start talking about the FY26 budget.
Yeah.
But for the FY25, when that was set in place, we were fully staffed. And so you can't forecast, you know, guys getting hurt, how many guys are going to be out. Those are just things you can't forecast. Chief Reed had a full complement of staff at that time. Yeah. So obviously if you're fully staffed, then your overtime budget, you don't need as much money. Well, let's gravitate the police side. Chief Jaggers was down 15, 16 police officers at the time. So to get a butt in that cop car, he's going to have more overtime money. Yeah. So that's why I've fastly learned that's how budgets are done. Yeah. It's not that you look at everybody and police have 100, we have 100, so let's give them the same amount of money. Yeah. Well, in the private sector, I mean, you've been my insurance guy for 20 years, back when it was Hodges and Ford. And so you know my private sector business of when we sit down, there's places that I have to cut. If I'm fully staffed in employees, then I can shave here. It's the same thing in this right here. Yeah. And so to be fully staffed, we're not going to have as much overtime. So therefore, right now we're having to adjust. We're having to ride heavy on some trucks, close a truck. We do mutual aid with Rainbow City, with Glencoe, with Atala, so they will send us a truck if we need it. On the flip side of that, there's times that we go down into Rainbow City when they don't have a complement of staff like they need to, which it's a smaller city. They don't have as many guys. We'll send as many guys as they have, sometimes more. There was an apartment fire on Brown Avenue here a while back. We sent a full response, which was 12 guys. So we sent them 12 guys for an apartment fire, which I'll go ahead and tell you, one of our guys was the second guy through the door to put out fire. Yeah. So those things happen. We backed those guys up. Yesterday, we had to close a station down for the day just because of staffing issues during the day. Immediately, I reached out to Liz in dispatch, let her know, hey, this is what we have. Turn around and call Kevin Conklin at Rainbow City. First thing, 6:30 yesterday morning. said, hey, Kevin, just to let you know, y'all are not coming in to back us up. I need you coming in a hurry because you're going to have to meet us there at the line and hold that line together. Yeah. So we work as a team throughout the county, but at the end of the day, we are the hub. Yeah. We are the ones who fan out and help others. We've been in Coates Bend, we've been in Tidmore Bend, we've been into Glencoe, we've been into Hoax Bluff. We go Ivory. We've been everywhere to assist others. And so when they call, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Reese City, Duck Springs, we're coming if you need us.
Yeah, and we're here to help them. When a firefighter was going to get EMT 1, 2, and 3 certified, they had to go to Gadsden State on their own time, right?
Correct.
And now we do it while they're on shift.
Absolutely. And
we pay them while they're going to school. Because we had a shortage in EMTs, and then I found out why, and I said, well, let's just pay them on shift and figure it out and back them up with some overtime. Right. So now we got a lot of EMT 1, 2s, and 3s, don't we?
Well, yes, and we have 3 right now that are in EMT 3, which is paramedic. So
only 3 can go a semester.
Only 3 can go a semester. So
that's mess up our staffing.
It'll mess up the staffing. Yeah. That is correct. So right now, that's something that we are short on paramedics. Yeah. That's something that we fought my entire career. There's things that Chief Carroll, I feel like, could have done a little better job. Yeah. So that we're not dealing with this right now. Yeah. Me, for an example, when I had my landscape business, did that all day, went to rookie school as well during the day, which I had 3 guys working for me. But on lunch, I'd go check on those guys to be sure they were doing what they were doing. Yeah. So it was rookie school, I'd go check on my guys, and then I went to paramedic from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night. At the same time, we had a 1-year-old, Michaela, and then Tabitha was pregnant with Mackenzie, and so that was a very hectic time. Now these guys get to do it on shift. I paid for mine. By the way, I was on the president's list. Let me go ahead and throw that out there at Gadsden State.
Something I wouldn't.
Well, that's the first time ever for me. Yeah. But now it is a great benefit that you guys are paying for these guys to go on shift, so they get to come back, study here, and so they do have that time with their family when they're off. They can spend time with them. It's a great advantage to get your school paid for and do it on shift.
From when we took over, it's a cultural change.
Absolutely.
I wanted you to be able to talk to the finance directors.
Sure.
I've replaced the finance director. I wanted you to be able to talk to the mayor, and I'm open to, we talk all the time.
Right.
But also to my staff. And,
yes.
And Nick Hall is the liaison to y'all. And
Nick's the best.
He wants to be a fireman, I think, at age 65.
Yeah, he does.
But
I told him I'd hire him, but he's outside the 40-year-old cut.
He got to pass the PT test first, but he helps me when I can't do all that. And let me tell you, it's been a change. It's been a positive change. Things don't happen overnight. That's been the hardest thing for me and you, because you're right. Government moves like molasses. And just getting this building built, good Lord, it felt like, everybody did a great job. Both construction did a great job, and everybody else.
You're correct. Complete 180 from the last administration to be able to sit down, to have the liaison. I know Brett did a great job. Brett's he's a very intelligent guy, good at what he does. But I'll say Nick, being in the city for 36 years, he understands municipal government. Nick has been great for me. One, I coached his son, so Nick and I have been friends for a long time, so that helps. But he's a great asset for us. His team within personnel or human resources now, and Karen, Susan, Amy, they've been great for me. But to have that has been really good. But
which son did you coach?
Chandler.
Yeah.
I coached Chandler 2 years middle school baseball.
Well, he's a man now. I feel like I'm a grandpa.
Yeah, he is a man. But yeah, you and I both, we're both very intense guys. Yeah. But we both also move with intention. Yeah. So the things that we do, there's a lot of them.
So I'm very defensive of our first responders, and I hate social media with a passion. But if you run your mouth on social media,
you're gonna fire them up.
By God, I'm gonna fire right back. I'm gonna tell you like it is. I ain't got anything to
That's
lose.
Right.
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna protect them. So I end this with everything. If there's one thing to tell us about you that nobody knows, that we could tell G-rated, what is it?
Oh man. Have you got something in mind right now?
No. I ain't. Yeah.
So obviously, I thought you were going for the Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
the fact that everybody's
Nick Hall calls you Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, that Nick Hall calls me Sergeant Carter. Move it. And that is because I am when I coached, and even in a firehouse now, I'm intensity. That's what I am. But but I move with intention. But I think the one thing that a lot of people don't know is I am a softy.
Yeah.
But now the beast is still in here. He's just sleeping.
Yeah,
I am one that if you back me in the corner, I'm gonna come out and hit you in the mouth.
That's good.
And
well, that's what you want out of a chief.
that's exactly right. And I know you're the same way,
Yeah.
just like you just said with
Yeah.
social media. I've not seen anybody love Gadsden as much as you do.
Yeah.
And defend Gadsden and be willing to put Gadsden first. And that's the way I feel now. I tell everybody I'm Italian, not Italian. I'm from Itala.
Yeah.
I'm a Blue Devil.
Yeah.
But I have fell in love with Gadsden. Like I
Yeah.
said, we moved in here in 2010. I've, of course, come to work here in 2002. I've literally put my life, my physical life,
Yeah.
on the line for the city of Gadsden. The guy that drove for me, which is up here as an acting lieutenant now, actually planning on promoting him soon. He's the next guy. He's passed all of his testing for promotion, and he's the next guy up with Chapel leaving the 30th this month. Which hate to lose Craig. He's been my guy. We were partners together, rode the truck together for about 9 years on the east side, and but been in those situations where we were in structure fires, and and we've said, hey, this could be it. We may not go home in the morning. And then you figure out a way to get out of it, and you do. But that is the harsh reality of when we show up here in the morning at 7 o'clock, we don't know. Yeah. And that is a tough thing. But I've loved this job. I love Gadsden Fire. It's been great for me. It's afforded me a lot of opportunity in the private sector to have some of the couple of days off to do something else. And the main thing, I'm a family guy.
Yeah, you love your family.
I love my family. As with Gwen and Jonathan and Wells, and to spend time with them, and this has afforded me an opportunity to do that, and I'm very thankful to you. I know the Civil Service Board actually hires me, but I tell everybody I serve at the pleasure of the mayor. Yeah. And I am glad it's you.
Well, I'm glad it's you. So if you don't think we got a good fire department, man, I'm telling you, I hope you watch this whole thing. It's worth watching because y'all are squared away.
Well, good deal. I appreciate that.
We're in the military. We say we have no bolos at this station.
No bolos at this station.
But man, we appreciate you, Vance, and
thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate you,
yes,
Chief,
sir.
and thank you. And this is Craig Ford with Meet the Staff with our Fire Chief Vance Brown. Thank you.